Hey guys, we are back for Bandcamp Dailies number 16, and this is episode number 2, being offline. So we're going to try it again, see how clumsy it is. And so we have some listens today. Someone listened to Cries from a Defective Mind, and then we have a bunch of listen, and then Cohesive Deterioration. We've done a video about each of these. And then in the middle, we have stuff from Self-Inflicted Memory Loss, my Self-Inflicted Memory Loss album from 2016. And I believe half of or I guess there are 7 songs, right? No, there are 6 songs. So half of them I've already talked about in a previous video, and the other half I haven't. So we're going to talk about those 3 songs. So this video is dedicated to 3 songs, and I think each song is like 20 seconds long, very short. But we're going to delve into them deeply. So Spread It With a Spoon we talked about before, Lazy we talked about before, and Knives, comma spoons we've talked about before. So we're going to be talking about Patience, Goider, and Excellent Choice. Okay, so with that being said, oh, by the way, I don't think this. I'm not sure. I don't. What I was going to say. I don't think this shirt has been on display in any of my videos before. But that's probably incorrect. Like maybe for one of my Time of Death Plays Id Games videos, it was. But this is it's laundry day shirt. So I don't wear it often. And yeah, I've probably had it on before. Anyway, I like it. It fits really well. I feel like I look really good in it. Obviously you're watching me right now and you can see how good I look. I look super sexy. But I don't like the shirt. Oh, it also has thumb holes, which is, honestly, I think that's pretty cool. I never use them, but I think it's cool. You know, I was thinking about this right before doing the video. I remember the whole, I don't know if the thumb hole thing, but I remember Jennifer Love Hewitt back in the day. She would like have these long sleeves like this. And I always thought that was hot when girls had long sleeves like this. I don't know why. It's probably because Jennifer Love Hewitt was hot. But anyway, I've already lost track of what I'm talking about. My shirt. The reason I don't like my shirt. So basically, like when I always wear a t-shirt underneath it. And so, or a sweatshirt over top of it. And so when I go to take this shirt off, it's just, there is so much static. There's basically sparks. It's really annoying. So that's why I don't like the shirt. But I do like how it fits. And I do like how I look while I'm wearing it. So that was very important, a very important part of the video. So I'm still trying to get used to this format, the format of having no internet. So what we're going to do, Self-Inflicted Memory Loss. We've talked about this album multiple times. Here's the cover art. So this picture is actually it's a black and white version of a photo I took of a tree that's literally just outside over here. At least it was. I was remembering this actually the other day. I was looking over to where it is. The balcony is like right over there. And so if I go out on the balcony and it just looks straight, that's where the tree was. But literally less than a year after I took this photo, the tree fell down. So it died. But it looked very scraggly. And I guess this sort of reminded me maybe like, is it synapses in the brain? Is that a thing? I don't know. I'm a very smart person, but I inverted the colors and I made it black and white. Then I inverted the colors, and I did like, I do very much enjoy this cover art, even though the original photo was very low resolution. So it did not look very good because, after the fact, I tried to like scale it up for a higher resolution, but it never looks good. So anyway, this is the cover art. So this album, Self-Inflicted Memory Loss, I released it in 2016. It is a completely improvised and randomly arranged album. It's just complete nonsense, very insane. The drums are all over the place. Guitar is all over the place. It's a super fun album. So I basically improvised everything and randomized everything. And then once everything was randomized and arranged randomly, I wrote lyrics and I recorded the vocals. And funnily enough, the vocals are what sort of bring some semblance of structure to the songs. So in a weird way, they do that. And once again, we are going to be checking out the lyrics for these 3 songs. So I've mentioned this before. I have not published the lyrics for this album because they're extremely stupid. They are juvenile. They are very inappropriate. By the way, this album has 99 songs. And so I had to write lyrics for 99 songs. So I basically just tried to write them as fast as possible. And they're just very, like I said, immature. That's another word I didn't use, but that definitely describes them. And so we are going to read those lyrics. I've read them literally like 10 minutes ago because I don't know what the vast majority of the lyrics on this album, I don't know what they are because I'd written them so quickly and I never went back to reread them or anything like that. So, and so I reread them 10 minutes ago or 15 minutes ago. And they're quite inappropriate and they made me laugh. So we are going to laugh together later. We're going to do that at the very end of the video. First of all, we're going to go into Reaper. Oh yeah, I forget how to do this because there's no internet. So what should I do? Okay, so first of all, we're going to have to listen to the song. What the hell, man? Okay, so that's that. And then that's that. So where did my folder go with all the songs? Here they are. Okay, now we have to find the songs. So pretend this is the track list in Bandcamp. So what are we listening to anyway? First song, I think it goes Patience, then Goider, then Excellent Choice. I think it just coincidentally goes in that order. Patience, Goider. So Patience is like Patience. Here's Goider. Where's Patience? Patience is 12. Goider's 18. What's the last one? I've already forgotten. Excellent Choice is like, it's not 40. No. It's Excellent. No, it's not 38. Hello, 27. Okay, so we have 12, 18, 27. Okay, let's get it through my head. All right, so let's listen to track Patience. Track 12, Self-Inflicted Memory Loss, 2016.
Yeah, I see it. I just have no patience.
That sample, by the way. Yeah, another thing about this album, every song has samples. And I recorded those samples off of my TV. So I basically recorded like a few hours worth of TV audio, and then I sifted through the audio to pick out some samples. This sample is...
Yeah, I see it. I just have no patience.
Okay, that's from a TV show called Canada's Worst Driver. It's actually a kind of an interesting show. I don't know. I'm assuming other countries have it. I don't know where the show originated from, but it is an interesting idea. So people go on the show who are notoriously bad drivers. They have a bad reputation for being a bad driver. Did that sentence make sense? And then, so each week they have to perform various. So there's a big group of people, and then it's sort of each week you have to perform various tasks in your car, various driving tests and whatnot. And whoever does it the best gets to leave, and they get their license back. And then at the very end, there's like 2 people left or 3 people left. And then whoever does the worst is crowned Canada's Worst Driver. And if I remember correctly, I think they get their license cut in half. I don't know if that's true or not, but I feel like that was a plot point. I don't know if this show is still on, but I remember watching it. The reruns would come on occasionally, and it was a fun show to watch. It seems like, some of the tests that the tasks that they had to perform in their car, it seems like they would be pretty fun to do. And I wish I could do that. Like, how do you sign up to do driving like that? Because that seems like it'd be pretty cool. All right, good stuff. Okay, so let's go into Reaper and we will isolate the tracks. So this is track 12, correct? Yes. Okay, so here is my Reaper project with 99 songs. Let's try to figure out where number 12 is. Here it is right here. We just listened to the song, so theoretically I should recognize it. That's definitely the song. Okay. So what we are going to do, we are going to isolate the drums first and foremost. First of all. That was a really good drum track. Yeah, very intense. Good stuff. Okay, so let's do this. And one thing we did this, and I don't know if it was a previous video or 2 videos ago, but we centered the guitar tracks. Because I mentioned this before, I only have one speaker here that I listen to the music with, and so it sort of gets mixed down to mono. And but if you listen with headphones, I hard pan my guitars left and right, so that might be annoying. So we're gonna centerize them. So this is the left guitar. Okay, that's really weird. I mentioned this on the previous self-inflicted memory loss videos. Sometimes, because I've listened to this album many times, and so even though it's all randomized and improvised, I do know how the melody goes somewhat. There's parts of the melody that sort of stick with me, and sometimes because we've isolated the tracks before, and something I've noticed is that sometimes one of the guitar tracks sort of takes over and it plays more of the melody that I hear in my head, and the other one is just sort of background. And then other times it sort of switches between the two guitars. So sometimes the melody from one guitar will sort of take over, and then the melody from the other guitar will take over. And that's the case with this one, because I did not recognize parts of this guitar track at all. Whereas other parts, I'm like, yeah, that's how the song goes. So it's kind of interesting for me because I'm sort of hearing the album in a completely new way. So this is the right guitar track. I don't know what happened at the end there, but I sort of abandoned what I was doing. This definitely sounds like the song. And so I guess the other guitar track was, I was adding stuff to it. But yeah, so that's pretty cool. So that is Patience. Now let's go to the next track. See if I can do this. So let's see if I remember. 12, 18, 27. Yes, my mind hasn't gone.
Looking for someone to trade his goider.
Okay, so apparently this was from the TV show Empty Nest. Apparently. The only reason I know that is because apparently well, not apparently, that piece of information is in the lyrics. Now, I never watched Empty Nest, but I guess it came on TV. Well, obviously it did back in the day. I know it's an older show, but some of the TV channels I get play older shows. So I guess it was just on TV and I had changed it to the channel. And this was one of the samples, I guess. So I don't know who that character is, but apparently this is from the TV show Empty Nest.
Looking for someone to trade his goider.
Okay, good stuff. I have a feeling I'm going to enjoy isolating the tracks on this song. The drums sound particularly intense, and also the guitars. So let's do that then. So this is 18, correct? I believe so. Okay, 18. This used to be my number in hockey, my jersey number. That's pretty interesting, isn't it? I feel like 18 was my favorite number. Why though? 17 used to be my favorite number because that's the number Kelly Gruber wore. He was my favorite baseball player back in the day, but I don't know why I started liking number 18. That's an interesting question for myself. So let's do the drums. Okay, I was trying to find out where the roll was, and it was at the very beginning of the song. I love that roll at the beginning. Oh my God. I only have 2 toms, and so I don't know. It sort of sounds like there are more than 2 toms, but there are only 2. Good stuff. Anyway. Come on, why does it keep doing that? Oh, probably because I clicked in here, right? Or something like that. I don't know. Wow, that's cool too. So this is definitely the song, but I was able to hear the other guitar in my head as I was listening. I'm like, oh, so the other guitar is doing this, while this guitar is doing that. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, so both guitars are definitely making their presence known on this song. So let's listen to the other track. There's some tapping parts on this one. Later and near the end of it. Okay, this first part I don't recognize at all. Wow. So basically almost the first half of this track I did not recognize at all. However, there were some palm mutes right here that I did recognize that they play an integral role in the song. But this part right here, I was like, what is that? Okay. So now we have number 28, right? No, 27. 27. Okay.
I'll take it.
Excellent choice.
Okay, so that sample, I'll take it. Excellent choice. This is from, I think it's a TV movie. I mentioned this before because there are probably like 5 samples from that movie on this album. It was about some girl who sort of takes over this wrestling gym. And then she tries to, because it was like losing money or something. She takes it over, and I'm assuming it was a happy ending because it was like a TV movie. I don't remember what it was called. I remember Googling it after like one of my previous videos, and I couldn't find any information on it or I couldn't hunt it down. So that's kind of unfortunate. I'm assuming it was a Canadian movie. I'm not sure though, but there are several samples from this album, from that movie on this album. And this was one of them. This was inside of a restaurant. So that lady was ordering something, and the waiter says, "Excellent choice." She was a very snooty. Yeah, I think she was the girl's mom. Yeah, so that was part of the plot. So she comes from like a very snooty, rich family, and she takes over this wrestling gym, and all the people at the gym are like, not that. And so I guess that was the juxtaposition of the plot there.
I'll take it.
Excellent choice.
All right, so there you go. Let's listen to the isolated tracks now. This is number 27. Okay, we got the green. So how do I do this without deselecting all this? That's what I'm curious. Because if I click on the track, it's going to highlight the track, right? So what if I just do this, like in between the track? No, it didn't do it. So that's really annoying. Maybe I've got to do it. I probably have to do it like underneath, right? I still don't know how to use Reaper. Yeah, okay, so that's what I have to do. I have to do it on in a track where there's no track. So an empty track. A nothing track. Okay, I've learned something today. Hooray. So this is the drums. Okay, there was this one part, or a couple parts actually, with some really nice double bass, and then it hits a snare like right after. Yeah, that part right there. There's a blast beat, and then it's double bass, and then it hits the snare and the cymbal at the same time. Did you hear that? That was really cool. Okay, so let's do the guitars. Okay, so this is the song. This is what I know of as this song. So I don't even know what the other guitar is going to be doing. Okay, whatever that was. It's kind of funny because it's definitely melodic. So it sounds like a normal guitar riff. Okay, well, apparently that's the right guitar for that song. What was that song called? Was that Patience? No, that was Excellent Choice. All right, so there you have it. There are the isolated tracks from those 3 songs. We're outside of Reaper. Now, what are we doing? We are doing the lyrics, right? Yes. Okay, so first of all, let's load the first track, which is Patience, I believe.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, now we're going to bring up the lyrics. Prepare yourself. Once again, viewer discretion is advised. Okay.
Yeah, I see it. I just have no patience.
Oh my God. Reading this stuff just makes me laugh so much. Yeah, apparently she had a friend too. So apparently her name was Marguerite. I remember her name being Marguerite. There's another sample with her on the album. I forget what number it is. Oh, it's called Stupid Bitch. Patience. Yeah. I sort of, because I made this in 2016. I sort of remember what she looks like. She had brown and reddish hair, but I remember it being like curly. But yeah, Marguerite was hot. Apparently she had a friend with big fake tits. Now I don't remember what her friend looked like, but I'm assuming she was like a bimbo or something. If I remember correctly. And yeah, I'm not into the big fake tits, by the way. And then a better pussy on my face. There you go. I haven't dreamt about that, but I did add that as the lyrics. Keep calm. Oh yeah. So I think in the clip, I think the guy was trying to tell her to keep calm. I'm touching my neck and I feel like, I don't know, there's something coming out of my neck. You know, I've been touching my neck. It feels like stuff is inflamed and stuff. I don't know. So there's your first track. Now let's go to the next track, which is 18, Goider.
Looking for someone to...
Okay, so let's go down to Goider.
Looking for someone to trade his goiter.
Okay, a little edgy, I guess. Hey, it seems like this was in 2016. I feel like I was sort of a bit of a pioneer here. Hey? Seems like it. I was ahead of my time. How about that? Yeah, so this is what I decided to write in like a minute or 2 minutes. In this band, I'm trying to get through 99 songs. These are the types of lyrics I write. Okay, so let's go on to the next song. First of all, let's cue up the next song. Excellent choice.
I'll take it.
Excellent choice.
Oh, yeah, I think this is probably the most inappropriate of the lyrics. Saving the most inappropriate for last, I guess.
I'll take it.
Excellent choice.
Okay, that was quite graphic. Very, very, very graphic. I was reading this and I was laughing before I made the video. I was laughing quite heavily, and it actually reminded me of this movie. I haven't seen the movie, but I've seen clips of it on the internet, and it's sort of, I don't know if it's a porno, but it's either a porno. There's definitely like explicit sex in it, but it's either a porno or it's like an art film. Because art films can sometimes have like explicit sex and whatnot in them. But this was an interesting movie, I'm assuming, based on the clips, because it sort of took place in a restaurant, and like there was like explicit sex going on in the restaurant, and like the people would order something, and then a guy would come out with, naked, and explicit sex would happen and stuff. And it reminded me, when I was reading this, it reminded me of that movie, of those clips. Oh, by the way, it's called Barbara Broadcast. Now, I don't know if you'll be able to find it online, but you can definitely find the clips on like Reddit or something. Apparently it's an infamous movie from probably the 80s. I think it's from the 80s. But the clips are very funny because of what's going on in them. And it's like in a restaurant. And so I'm just wondering if I was inspired to write these lyrics based on that movie, or if the movie came later. I don't know. But either way, there are definitely similarities. So if you've learned anything from this video, it's that, I don't know, if you want, you could type in Barbara Broadcast, onto Google or something. You don't have to, but I'll see you next time.